Now let's not pretend that we're all expert gardeners. Lots of us could spend more time keeping things trim outdoors, but imagine living next to this. We're in Pontypool in South Wales, and this is what Gail James looks out on every single day. It's been her view for several years.
We had a problem with cats and rats. Clutter, sheds are falling, the walls, the hedge is overgrown, wasp nests, bees nests, and just rubbish.
Things have got so bad that the Housing Association has had to step in. They've sent down their hoarding expert, Gail Bruche, so she can work her magic.
It's a bit of an eyesore, is it?
Yeah.
So what other issues
I
do
just
you
worry
have
about
with
the
it?
stuff falling down, the
There's a
smell.
What's the smell from?
That's from down behind, down there. Loads of stuff was dumped behind the sheds.
Right, so it's just rotting. It's just rotting.
Yeah.
Do you have any rats or
We did have
mice
rats.
that come in?
I haven't seen them for a while, but I have had poison put down recently.
Is that in this garden here?
Yeah, just down there where the bricks are. That's where my
Right.
daughter can't come out and play because of the poison being constantly put down. And I don't want her the risk of her failing
No, not at all.
The garden is clearly giving a lot of cause for concern, but it doesn't belong to some rude, inconsiderate person who ignores all his neighbours. It's this man. 77-year-old Percy Watkins actually used to love gardening, but then, sadly, Percy's wife died, and since then, things have got on top of him.
It was about 7 or 8 years ago. It was, up until then, it was tidy, and we lived here for 20 odd years. So she loved it. Only 6 years ago she passed away. So it was a bit of a shock, and it just deteriorated. I didn't even paint the sheds. So my age now, like 20 minutes and I just can't do any more.
Percy spent 32 years working down the mines. Since then, he's had 2 knee replacements, which obviously has an impact on how much gardening he can do. He also has to look after his son Owen, who has special needs.
But we managed it years ago, and we had chairs out here, we could sit down. But then, once she went, it was much point in sitting out here, and it just corroded. Things have happened, and it's just got out of hand.
There's no way he can make that garden nice again on his own. There's just too much work there for anyone. So for Percy, being the age he is, and that the fact that he has to look after his son, that's just too much work for one person to be doing.
It's worth pointing out that there's absolutely no animosity from his neighbours towards Percy himself. They all think he's a really nice guy, but his garden has become severely antisocial and is now causing significant problems, not just for the family living next door, but for everyone who lives close by. So it's time for Gail and her army to swing into action.
What we're hoping is obviously to get it back to that stage where you can go out there, sit out there.
First things first, a full assessment of the site and any potential hazards.
That building there is
Right.
glass or
There's
perspex
glass.
on top of it, and there's also a few blocks, and if you look at it, it's leaning.
It's
There's
gonna.
always an option and that could fall onto somebody.
All the steel is here
Yeah.
can be taken up to the top,
Right.
put up against the fence inside.
It's a lot of steel though. It means that we're just moving things from one place to another. Did you want the steel?
Some
would-
of it, but not all of it.
Because what I'd like to do is for have it all gone.
Yeah.
Because I just feel then, as you said, there's lots of steel items.
Yeah.
We're just moving things from one place to another.
Yeah.
So it is better if we can get rid of as much as possible on the day.
Yeah.
We've got the vans, we've got the skips.
Right.
So, try to be a little bit sort of like firm with yourself. No, it's got to go, it's got to go. We can keep like all these little ornaments and things. That's all lovely.
Yeah.
Unless you want rid of them.
All those ornaments is what the wife used to like.
Right. Yeah, so
The water feature there.
do you want to keep them then?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Gail has a fine line to tread. Some of the items clearly have sentimental value for Percy, but Gail has a duty to his neighbours to clear this place right out.
There's a lot of work to do. The garden's absolutely full. There's a lot of dangerous elements in the garden. It gives me concern for the team coming in. The wire, some of the glass that's hanging, some of the framework, all that needs to come down first.
You're not kidding, and let's not forget all the rats the neighbour says she spotted. There's a lot of reasons why this garden needs sorting. Good job Gail's around. She'll be back with a full team and a couple of skips in just a few days' time. But will she be able to persuade Percy to let things go?
Percy, do you want this? He's staying, okay, he's staying.
Over in Pontypool, the day has arrived to clean out Percy's garden.
Hiya! How are you? Alright. We've got 2 skips, haven't we?
Since his wife died, and because of his own age and the problems with his legs, the garden has been too much for him to cope with on his own. But although Percy's a decent guy, his garden is an antisocial nightmare for his neighbours. His hoarding tendency means there's masses of rubbish in there, along with broken glass and barbed wire. It's overgrown. Rotting material means it smells horrible, and his next door neighbour says she's seen rats. Although Percy denies that, the neighbour's daughter isn't allowed to play outside.
We had a problem with cats and rats. Clutter, sheds are falling, the walls, the hedge is overgrown, wasp nests, bees nests, and just rubbish.
The whole place needs clearing urgently. The operation has been masterminded by the Housing Association's expert declutterer.
There's a lot to do, probably more than I actually initially thought. We've got 2 skips, and we've got 3 tipper trucks, and then we have probably 30 people arriving.
Many are volunteers, including some of Percy's neighbours who want to help him out. While they get their overalls on, Gail briefs the experts on her team. Certain hazards need to be sorted before anyone else can start work.
There's glass on the top of there, look. That's definitely got to come off. The wire needs cutting off here where the red door is. Can you see?
Yeah.
There's barbed wire. And I think as well, there's something coming to prop this up.
Yeah.
The lads set to work removing the wood and glass structure that looks like it could topple at any minute.
They're professionals in this experience of garden clearing, and so they'll know what to take away first to save any hazards. We have a lot of hazards in this garden. And as we go, Percy's going to be at hand to give us whether he wants to keep things or whether he's happy for things to go. Obviously, it's better just to clear it out as much as possible, and then he can buy all new again.
There are certain things in the garden that have sentimental value to Percy, but he can't keep it all.
She said there were quite a few people here that I didn't expect this many. So I don't know what. Right. I want to keep those.
You want to keep that?
Aye.
Should we keep
Give me a minute. I'll put them under there.
Do you want me to put them down for you?
No, sorry.
You all right?
Yeah.
Gail's made it clear to Percy that, for his neighbours, it's really important the dangers are removed, but he's keeping a close eye on everything they shift.
I want the pots back, like.
You want the pots back?
Yeah.
Once all the antisocial hazards are out of the way, everybody else can get going. Although the front garden also needs attention, it's nowhere near as bad as the back.
Keeping all the pots where they are, just take the weeds out and the grasses out, and then litter from the garden, being careful with the centre area there. Only this week he's decided to sprinkle his wife's ashes in this area of the garden here, so we have to be really respectful to that and be careful what we're doing in there. In fact, it's better that we don't even touch that area there. So we'll clear up the garden, but leaving the centre feature alone. She has passed away 6 years ago, but obviously this week what we're doing here has maybe made him think, no, this is where he'd like to put her in the garden, and that's what he's done. And it's very nice, very nice.
Percy's wife enjoyed the garden, and when she was alive, they kept it looking smart. They amassed a large collection of stone ornaments, something Percy is understandably keen to keep.
These things are broken, so these I think. Yeah, we'll take some of these up. Anything you see like that broken, bin it. Yeah?
I've no doubt for him there's some sadness. He's seeing some of the ornaments go that his wife and he collected and put into the garden, but they're broken. So it's better for him to be able to sit in the garden and enjoy the nice pieces and the pieces that are there and solid, rather than broken and crumbling. So I think when we finish, he'll be happy with it.
After just 40 minutes, the garden is already looking radically different.
Well, it's going well. It's going well.
Chop bread, chop, chop.
There's 20 people here already working. They're all volunteers. So, it's really kind of them. They're giving up their time.
Next on the long list of jobs is shifting a massive pile of old wood. In the garden's glory days, this was a shed 24 feet long, but Gail's starting to worry about where she's going to put it all.
Let's get one filled up, and then let's look at the situation. Yeah. And then we've still got 2 trucks, and then we've still got this little bit here. Luckily, we're taking out the metal for the scrap guy. Otherwise, they would have been filled up by now. Okay. A lot has gone. But the fear is, my concern now is that we're not going to have enough vehicles here to take it all away. There's more than we thought. But we're okay, We'll just make some phone calls, and where there's a will, there's a way.
Now that a lot of the rubbish has been cleared, the team can start to tackle the greenery, which has been left to grow wild. The garden is packed with volunteers, including Percy's son, Owen.
Owen, can you manage that? Are you sure? All right then, sweetheart. Okay.
Where do you want to put it?
Up the top in the skip. Can somebody help, Owen? Thank you.
Thank you. It's not the same garden we used to know.
With such a huge team working flat out,
Have we got a couple of strong guys?
it really doesn't take long for the problem areas to be cleared. And crucially, the view from the neighbour's house is now completely different. The hazards are gone, and the garden is no longer an attraction risk for vermin.
So do you think now, Percy, you'll keep on top of this?
Yeah,
Yeah?
definitely.
Yeah. Because now you've had so much help, it would be good
Yeah.
to keep it like this.
I can't thank you all enough.
Oh, thank you, Percy. Thank you.
That's fantastic. I didn't think you'd finish it today, but looked more like a garden now, not a wilderness.
And importantly for Percy, the garden now looks much more like it did when his wife was around.
She'd be out of this world. If she was here, we'd have still been doing it, because she loved gardening.
And it's all down to Gail and Percy's local community. They all came together to tackle an antisocial problem, and that issue is now well and truly sorted. In Pontypool, after the extraordinary efforts of the local community, Percy's kept his back garden clean and tidy, and he can now relax and enjoy sitting outside. And his neighbours can finally use their own garden without fear of running into rats. And in Boston, the Rangers continue their amazing work. These days, they now patrol the streets 3 evenings a week, and after dark, they're even busier.